Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's been a great day today, seeing family and doing some things or whatever. But I just wanted to talk about vanity, and I'm going to speak to people about how I guide through my life oftentimes and what I find vain or not vain. When I do this, I like to give a disclaimer. Please, if you like certain things you hear, that's fine, that's cool. But I really would rather people not try to create clones and then say this person or that person has to be like this or that. I'm just giving you a piece of my heart, and so then I hope it can help with others. I've got a few more applications to fill out at some of these big grocery chains and other places, um, and then some other things to do. I think I'm gonna cut my hair tonight, or as Paul says, stay chauvin. But even outside, that's just a little, outside that book. Yeah, it's good to. I mean, for me, this me, it's good for me to stay with a nice clean haircut. You can see, like in the beginning of my videos, I was had a nice clean cut, and then I went Goku for a while. For anybody that knows about Dragon Ball Z, that's just a television series. Um, but anyways, Vane, and so I'm not going to sit on here and say that I'm the type of guy that just lives without technology or can abstain from all this different stuff. And actually what I believe people are doing when they try to have me or other people do that. When you try to completely close yourself off, close yourself away from yourself to live a lifestyle that's more appeasing for society. And the reason I say appeasing for society is because no matter what you call it, a lot of our societal standards are acted out and role play out because of the power of society. If you don't behave or act a certain way, you'll probably called out on it. I'll give you an example in everyday life. If usually I am like a certain type of way, happy a lot, then if somebody a lot of times sees me like this, they can get confused or they can start to feel fear. Now, when I say feel fear, that's I believe it's because they feel concerned for me. They think I'm depressed or something. But what I try to explain to people is when they see me like that, um, maybe if I let you know that I am, okay. But here's why that's confusing for me personally. So when I'm in deep thought like that, or when I'm thinking, I'm up there. So when I say I'm up there, a lot when people speak of certain mental illnesses and then they watch television shows with Leonardo DiCaprio and all these other famous people and try to explain mental illnesses, that's when unaware they're accidentally creating new mental illness. Because a lot of times people will take words like delusional and skits and all these other words, and they will literally think of people seeing people. Now, I'm not going to tell you what anybody else does, but based on what a lot of people tell me, they're in their imagination, the kingdom of the heart, the kingdom of, they're in their imagination. And what happens when they're in their imagination, they can be in there so hard that they become unaware to what's actually real. And so I'll give you an example. The movie A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe, if you've ever seen that, I think it's Russell Crowe. Movies like that, because what happens is a lot of people won't be suffering from these things. They won't understand these mental illnesses because one, they're not doctors. And what does everybody say? Don't self-diagnose. And two, a lot of doctors don't even know what's going on. If you don't believe me, catch the right thing and they'll let you know. So that's for physical illnesses. Because mental illnesses I've come to try to help people with, because a lot of these doctors are destroying people's minds for money. So back to the main point at hand. People will see like the scene where he was dealing with the baby and see him talking to an actual agent. So I can't tell you what other people are doing, but unaware easily, a person could go into the imagination and start daydreaming, forget what they're doing in the outside world, and then the confusion can start. Sitting here thinking, watch a bunch of movies about psychology, read a bunch of posts about how all the world is going, blah, 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 blah. All these doctors on YouTube pages diagnosing, it's not diagnosing, but giving information about mental illness without none of the other scope or spectrum of the knowledge that they gained in college, right? So then what do these normal people do? I think I'm bipolar. I think I'm, ooh, is this real? Is that real? Is this real? You wouldn't ever question something being real or not if you, this is for the people that aren't affected by actual chemical imbalances. See, they don't explain all the stuff about the brain dealing with damage and synaptic gaps being disconnected and clogged. You know what a beta blocker is? Sometimes they'll use them for the mind and other parts of the body. What they're doing is blocking signals to synaptic gaps. That's all they're doing. The thing is still there. You're not cured from it. So this is why I try to tell people a lot of these, this is what I'm about to say. If people have to get on YouTube videos and say, if preachers can get on YouTube videos and preach about God all day, if doctors could get on YouTube videos and give 15 minutes about what a diagnosis might be with none of the other information and knowledge that they learned, then why are people having to get on here and say, well, based on my knowledge, I think, well, I might think. The people that learned psychology learned it from the people that learned about psychology. Those people that learned about psychology learned about the people who learned about psychology. If you knew what the beginning people who were learning about psychology and philosophy were really doing, you would begin to question things. Like, okay, philosophy and psychology, they were using it to literally imprison people mentally. You guys should research these Greek philosophers. But then these Roman kings and these Roman priests who usurped a whole another country. You guys will talk about Israel. Innocent Babylonians were consumed. Innocent Persians were consumed. Innocent Greeks were consumed. You guys will follow like a script from a religion and then ignore everything else about the real world. Edomites, Esau's. Do you know how many innocent Edomites have been killed? You know how many innocent Babylonians have been killed? It's racism, but people don't see it because it's in a book. So as I become more and more aware, I learn and grow. So back to the idea of any psychology and philosophy. Anything's a concept. And yet, though many of those concepts might be able to help you in terms of creating a structure within to not fall off of something, those things that are helping you not fall are the same buildings that are causing people to fall sometimes, if that makes sense. So, in terms of the medical institution, so medical scientists, doctors, engineers, data farmers, all these things, right? When you guys watch news stories, you'll see like, Elon Musk discovered and innovated all these things. That pisses me off for like 10 reasons. But I'm going to go a little bit deeper. You guys, there's slaves and slave mentality everywhere. It's not just about color. It's not none of those things. You guys will be like, hospitals are bad. I don't trust doctors. Do you think a doctor has a freedom to do anything? That doctor goes off, of course, in one aspect. I'm going to give you an example. Do you know why hospitals have so many lawyers? Do you know how many people have been suing hospitals? So here's the thing about that, though. Once the hospital becomes mighty and has all this law power, now the innocent people. The same way y'all got lawyers for everything in life, the same way how y'all got lawyers for public defenders, why don't y'all have lawyers for everyday people? Land of Lincoln, Land of Lincoln. Call Land of Lincoln and let me know what happens. There needs to be more accessibility for the public for everything. My actual story of what happened, I said a bunch of stuff on camera that freakily came true. I went to the hospital and said, can I talk to a therapist, please? Religion and a bunch of other concepts are getting to me. They tried to involuntary me. And I was like, for one to talk to a therapist? So when I tried to walk out the hospital, they body slammed me. I woke up in a jail cell after being sedated. and they told me I was being charged with aggravated assault towards a hospital worker. When I tried to bring up any of this in the whatever was going on, they kept saying we can't get the footage. We can't get the footage because obviously, right? I need to get a lawyer. The public defender says you're gonna have to get a lawyer, and then it'll have to be subpoenaed, and then you'll have to da 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 da. And I'm like, what the fuck? So then I called the hospital. I don't know why I did this. I called them. I was like, hey, gave them the day to happen. I was like, hey, can I get your footage from the hospital or whatever? I know that sounds funny from anybody who works in law because y'all are laughing at me like, oh, you think they're going to give you? Exactly. Just a humble shepherd boy trying to live life like a fucking moron, right? So I called the hospital. I was like, hey, can I get some help from what's going on? After like 2 months of court, they was like, ooh, we can't give you this footage. You're going to have to get a lawyer. Ooh. All of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, all the charges were dropped. What the fuck? But you know what's not dropped? Let me show y'all something. I've already showed it in a video because then all my information is going to pull up. And I ain't that stupid. Yeah. So all these people telling me they were having all these suicidal thoughts, all these crazy thoughts. They wanted to harm people. They wanted to break testimony of people out their own mouth of what they told me. They told therapists and different stuff. Work at beautiful jobs, out in society now, doing all kind of stuff. I went to the hospital and told them this dude came every single day. And when he was coming, he would say, hey, how are you doing today? Okay, bye. Because I told them, I was like, hey, I was like, a couple days. I just want to get away from the world. A lot's going on. And I was telling them I work in psych care. I'm around a lot of crazy shit all day. I just need a little bit of help. Their offer to that is, okay, you can stay in this place for 5 days. You have to sign this waiver. Whoa, what? Is there a network of therapists or somebody I could call? And then people be like, why didn't you go through your network? Go deal with your network. Go sign up for Social Security. Go sign up for unemployment. Oh, I hope you got patience, buddy. So I tried to skip a couple steps and just go. And they was like, okay, go. So I went there for like 4 or 5 days. Dude did not say what. Hey, how are you doing today? Click. Okay, to the next. Then at the end, they sent the nurse in, and I was like, hey, guy, I work in psych health. I've been doing this for almost 10 years. I keep getting in trouble there for what I don't know. I keep learning more and more about racism and redlining and all this bad stuff to blacks. I keep learning that all this religion is blah, 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 blah. I'm just telling him the things that I've learned, right? Get out of this place, because nothing's wrong by their standard. Then I get out of this place. I get an email saying they've diagnosed me with depression. What? Then I get an email from the state police saying if I don't surrender my FOID card, I will catch a felony. And if I'm in public with my FOID card on me, they'll give me a felony because depression is a mental illness. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? You know, I thought this book was playing. It said the prophets would be hated. It said some stuff would be happening. I'm telling the truth. So I'm like, keep being strong. Keep pushing. Okay, you are with me. I know you're here. The whole world made me worship this stuff, and I'm trying. So come on, let's keep pushing. You got me out of the jail. All the stuff that was going on with my lungs and pneumonia and all that gone. I don't know. I sound like Paul right now. I don't care. I was the healthiest I've ever been on the inside. I couldn't explain it. I felt like God. It was like my life changed. But everybody in the outside world started attacking me randomly, weirdly. You're not doing this right. You're not doing that right. You're not doing that right. Right up. It's like something weird started happening, like a fire spin. So then it started coming to me. I told you. They hate the prophets. All you are saying is give love and peace, and I am who I am, and they're trying to destroy you. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? I gave all the science and information and logic from their own books. This is the stuff they're writing. What's going on? So that's when it hit me. My child. Vanity. They don't care. And a good friend keeps saying it in my comments over and over and over. This world is set up with corporations and money and governments. And if they don't get their way, if they are transgressed, they try to harm people. The even more sadistic part is they do it first with religion when people are young. A wise friend of mine said a while back, our parents did not have the internet like that. Our grandparents had to fight people with racists, was blowing people's heads off and sicking dogs at people and shooting people with water hoses and shit. So I said, okay, Lord, you got me in this time period. At least I don't got to deal with all that. I'm still trying. These Christians are pushing me to wrath because they are talking holy, 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 but they are destroying, destroying, destroying. So I'm gonna just keep following your word, and I'm gonna just keep being patient. Vanity, my child, let them do it. You have seen from all the prophets, they don't listen. They want the new stuff. They want to buy new stuff over and over. Anytime somebody says, change the world, Greta Thunberg. Elijah Thornberry, now there's Greta Thunberg. People trying to change the world. What's happening? They get attacked. All these people coming out with new innovations, they getting disappeared. Dr. Sebi said, eat right. And they ridiculed him and blackballed him. Do I agree with everything he said? But we different people. So, you see what's happening. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep applying and keep doing what I got to do. Anybody that has heard me talk about Israel, Jews, Caucasians, German, I have done that for a purpose. I'm around all colors of people in my life, and I set the scales back even. I don't care who don't like me for it. African Americans and indigenous people and homosexuals and people that were in the dirt were getting destroyed. And so I tipped the scales back. So, you know what I'm saying? Vanity. You tried to help like everybody else, and they tried to destroy it. So, when I tell y'all the kingdom of the heart, all of y'all that's out there watching videos crying and can't find relief, always know you are strong because I always made it and they will not stop me. 20 years of cosplay put into you. Then when you try it and they try to destroy you, I will not bow. And then I guess I'm going to just keep living my life the way I was. But anybody who finds me in the future, I did it so you can too. Our ancestors still wanted to mix with these people after what they did. So I will too. Whew. Because what does it profit to hate others? I have had enough history and enough time through my own eyes to see what happens when you hate other people. And though, I walk through the valley of the shadow of the dead, and these people are rude, I still try for the people in the future and the innocent who don't have no other leg to stand on. Call me Peg. I'll be your other leg. They tore my branch out the tree, so use it to walk throughout the sea. Oh, man. I think when people, and this is why I wanted to really let my parents know, like when people see me doing this, breaking down, and this isn't, I can't, when I say like I'm done or I give up, that's a different kind of done. I don't give up. I don't bow. I'll walk like Forrest Gump before I think about hurting myself with a stump. But anyways, like I was saying, this is what every man possesses. You guys have put off an image of such hard, cold, mean men. I was just sitting on my couch doing this. And a thought came to my mind, gay. And then I really started thinking to myself, nothing I do is gay. Everything I do is man. It's the feeling of the concept they put inside to make you join something because of their teachings. I am a man, and I am who I will be. I am who I am, and I am a gracious gift. So, when y'all see tears and stuff like that, be happy that I can do such things. Don't be sad. Those are tears of joy. Sometimes when I see myself crying and it's like, oh, you little soft, I get so happy. Because then if I'm so soft, if I'm so weak, then how am I the Satan? How am I the destroyer? Satan destroys himself and doesn't even realize it in his own destruction. And when people can see through it, they can start to rebuild and become beautiful. So, vanity. I was talking to somebody about something, and they're like, "Oh, would you like me to bring this over and rearrange that and this?" And I was like, "Vain. I am worried about. I'm not saying the things that what they're doing is beautiful. They're trying to help, but in my heart, I want to work, or I want to be financially stable, to be able to live my life. I want to be a dad that can have his kids running his living room. When African Americans were trying to vote in New York years ago and other places, you had to own like I think $2,500 or $25,000 worth of property. In this day and age, I couldn't vote in New York back then. That's fucked. I hear people in comments talking about, oh, I made 230,000. Oh, I made 175,000. Oh, I made this one lady was on this one dude was on a video or something saying, I only made 75,000 that year, and it was like, oh, I'm just being honest. I make 24,000 a year when I was working as a CNA. 24,000 a year. When I hear people talking about they can't survive on 75 grand, it makes my body tingle. I don't know. Like I think people think like, and this comes to my mind a lot. Don't put your cash app on there. Don't ask for money. Just don't do it. I know you're struggling, and the book says a tenth, and people will help you and all this other stuff, but just don't do it. Don't do it. And I'm attacking myself. I can't build kingdoms. If I'm not doing something that society is pushing onto me, I feel like I'm robbing people. You see how people can comfortably just go make thousands and not have a care in the world? I struggle with putting my cash app on this thing. That's my internal battle. I don't know about like stocks and bonds. You give me like an equation after I know up to like I know math. But you teach me even further or give me equations or philosophy or something scientific or something, pew. People are like, oh my goodness, what did you just say? I never thought of it like that. That concept, that what whoa, whoa, whoa. But as soon as people start talking about stocks, bonds, finances, I don't understand. I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. It feels like a trap. I heard Saudi Arabia and these other countries talking about how they're doing away with credit, and I kind of don't blame them because y'all have turned loaning people money into a death trap. This car that just, I think the car was like 5 grand, and after the credit and everything and the payments, it came out to like 4 years of paying until I paid 12 grand or probably more, and now the car's broke down. I don't understand the financial. I don't have that. They're like be innocent, kind of sweet, but be cunning and understanding and wise, and you could do this to make a bunch of money. That's all cunning to me in a way that doesn't. I don't care for it. Soon as you tell me I'm about to start making money and I gotta work, and it's like okay, but then you start to go off. It's like we gotta do this, and we're gonna be. I don't even really like stuff outside of payroll because I don't know about like paying taxes on my own. If I pay somebody, they're probably gonna be robbing me with the little I do make. I just don't understand the world financially. So I'm not saying money is evil, but what y'all do with money is, um, I don't have the heart to talk because I'm not that person. I don't understand money like that. A lot of times when I hear people talking about like the Lord will bless you with all the stuff, I think that's why I get jealous because I don't. And when I even think about that stuff, I get plagued almost. Like it's crazy to think about. I'm gonna tell you my biggest battle. All the time I think about, not all the time because it hurts my head, but a few times I'll think about, oh, what if I got a bunch of money? A bunch of money. I got $1 million. The first thing that pops in my head, this was gonna happen. This is what happens. Because I do know this much. The government's taking, I think, like 40%. I can't remember the exact number, but you'll probably get like 600,000. Then with that 600,000, we're gonna give mom and dad 100,000 each. So that'll leave you 400,000. Then we'll probably give everybody in the family 10,000. That'll leave with how many family members I have. I probably have like that'd be too much. So maybe 5,000. But then they'll start to like get envious because they'll think I have a lot of money. So then I could give the poor people, because I'm not going to be able to take money without donating it unless if somebody gives me money says, oh, we already gave their percentage. Here you go. This is yours. Already taxed and paid, because I don't know this stuff. So I'm gonna like call Shriners or something, or St. Jude's or somebody, and give them like, if I got like 100 grand, I'm just being honest, I'm giving them 10 grand. I'm giving them like 15 grand, because I won't be able to sleep at night if I know all those kids. Stop crying, because they're gonna think you're a fucking faker. So I'm just being honest. They're gonna get a portion, even if I did get money. So then you got like kids put 20 grand in the college fund. It's like life is. I don't understand it. I'm telling you, even if you get money, they make songs like this: more money, more problems. It just gets confusing. You guys can look at me and see me give all this knowledge and these concepts and stuff, but boy, when it comes to money, I don't understand it. So, like I said, I don't call it evil. I don't. But what I see with these corporations and these governments and the sleazy stuff y'all are doing, if y'all continue, I'm but a messenger. So listen to what the Spirit is telling you all. If your spirit and blood agree, then come along. If y'all keep doing what y'all are doing to Africa and making the people live in that swamp while you make cars across the river, I swear to fucking God, dude, I will raise a fucking. Calm down. So please stop hurting people because you have money, and please start helping people if you can. And if you are gonna harm people, then y'all better get really fucking good at hiding it. Because people like me are everywhere, and we are getting tired of people being harmed. So, vanity. I don't give a fuck about your Mustangs. I don't give a fuck about your new whatever phones you have. I don't give a fuck about the newest pair of shoes and shit, and Jordans and all that. I really don't care about learning to this. See, Scrooge. Now, like, you'll be successful, put money in your bank for your descendants, and then all these hundreds of millions of people are starving to fucking death. So then I'm trying to sleep in my bed at night. Hey, what about all those homeless people? What all those people in the corner asking for jobs? What about all those people? So these are just my emotions. People can call it bipolar. They can call it whatever they want. But when you all are done making fun of each other and understanding most of us probably feel the same way, it would be better to fix the world and not maybe worry about money so much. I keep telling y'all, it's paper off trees and other various lints and things. So please start to fix the world, because this other shit I don't find pleasure in anymore. I really don't. I cannot ride a roller coaster while somebody across the park on the streets in that ghetto is begging for a job with a tin cup in his hand. I cannot watch these uppity new African Americans that are like, oh, we can all make it. And it's all, ha 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 ha, we're the chosen race. While fucking starving African Americans are on the corner still fucking suffering from these gentrifications and ghettos. I can't ha 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 with the laugh track anymore. Call it the awakening. Call it awareness. So, this is just my message for y'all, man. This is what I want to tell y'all it's sometimes if you don't have a community, and sometimes it may take time to find people that really do care, because a lot of these influencers, I don't even have to talk about God or nothing. I don't know what's going on. I'll be like, hey, what's up? What's going on? And they'll block me. What the fuck? I'm telling you, cosplay and lore. So what I'm telling you all, just follow along. I found something called it's an international advocacy group, something like an investment firm in terms of social personalities and the metaverse, the humanverse and metaverse. And I think people behind the scenes are giving people internet personalities, but then when other people try to come talk and say certain things, they block them and block certain things. So, with that being said, okay, I'm doing this for the scientists and stuff now, for science and all you people that are just sick of religion. Now I'm talking to you all again. This is you all's words for the last 5-10 years. It's a simulation. All the physicists have said it. Okay. God is light, simulation light, Big Bang, he speaks and appears. You know the common denominator between those two, between the whole religion and science, something that exists in science? the word and the algorithm of a word and its processing power, light. So, how do I say this? If this is the Matrix, so what do people say sometimes? Oh, what if it is real, and what if God is real, and you're going to wait to get to judgment, and blah, 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 blah. Now, scientists who are tired of hearing that, since you all have said this is the Matrix, I'm just going off you all's words. So, what I believe, but you all have said this is a simulation. You all said the word is what controls a word? An algorithm, it's word. And when an algorithm is self-sustained, an iOS that can integrate and be affected by the stimuli of the outside world. So, anyways, what I'm saying is the Bible says in the beginning, who I am was the Word. The Word was with who I am, and the Word is who I am. When you edify that book properly and stop playing with these cosplayers and start putting I am in certain places, you'll see what happened to your souls. All of you. Now, I'm saying that for a specific purpose. Some people believe in speaking and it'll come to be. Some people believe in manifestations. Some people believe in making videos for the sound waves. But if you are patient and willing to learn while you are in the wilderness and slowly follow that which I am, while following the covenants, you will begin to see things and understand things that are amazing. You will begin to feel them and see them and speak things. Because me and a friend apparently have both been duped. But I will give him leeway. Just like how you said just like how you said the privilege of having to be able to go out on those outings and stuff. Brother, I'm done. White people aren't the only ones that's privileged. African Americans, stop with the fucking bullshit. I have met too many fucking Caucasians that have been decimated, that are our allies, that are being shared now by African Americans. The rich, because you wouldn't believe how many African kings and African people that are not kings, families. Y'all, they keep showing y'all Africa. There are oil corporations and Africans that are rich. But they don't show you. You think the Hebrew Israelites are going to show you how they're oppressing people? It's all selective. So just like how my friend was privileged enough to go on vacations and stuff, I was too. But he was telling me a story. I'm privileged too. Because that same bill that they gave you for what you was going through for the hospital, mine was paid for by public aid. And so, because of children. And so I'm saying that to say this and all what I did. You know, the one relief out of all this crap that I went through in life, and that way, the public aid did help me. That's why I don't completely say government, government, government. They have things to help. But if I were to tell you what some of these doctors had said and how much experimental stuff I had to go through before they actually found out what it actually was, then you would understand what I'm talking about and how they send people down rabbit holes to experiment and don't all the time even know what's going on and still charge people for these tests being done. Y'all act like the devils sometimes when people have to choose between eating and having a medical procedure to survive. Vanity. Vain. So, yeah, brother, we all have privileges. We do what we can. And don't let nobody come up to you and calling you privileged. The fuck? They don't know you. They might make... Remember on 8 Mile with Eminem when they found out Clarence's real name and they found out his mommy and daddy was in the home and they were doctors and all this other stuff? African Americans can do that a lot. So can everybody else. You don't think rich Caucasians don't sometimes go to the trailer parks with a backwards hat on and some raggedy clothes and be like, hey, let's kick it today? Happens all the fucking time. You don't think me and the other African Americans at school didn't get met with a couple of Arabic people and Caucasians who were just filthy rich but wanted to kick it with us in the hood all the time? Out in on Tracy Drive and other places and Fairview and other places. You don't think they try to come to Sunnyside and kick it sometimes? There's people everywhere like that, and I explained this in a video before. They're not bad. They're trying to experience something new. They're not bad. They want some money. I told y'all when rich people say, "Oh, they only want me for my money," buddy. I told you how I feel about money. Everybody wants money. If the rich were poor, they would be saying the same thing that the poor are saying. People aren't different. We're all the same, and then we categorize each other and create sections of mental illness. So, vanity. At first, I didn't like kitty cats, and then I realized they're not violent. They're really sweet if you raise them up. I'm not telling you to go catch one in the wild, but they can be really sweet, really loving. And like when I say loving, he has turned into a okay, bro. But what I'm saying is, um, some things are vain, dude. What I see in life, like, makes me sick sometimes, but not because people make me sick. It's some of the stuff that they do. Like somebody, nope, I'm not gonna say that because then it's gonna. I really, I really think people should come together and start helping each other. But if people are still going through PTSD from like okay, if a woman has been going through, and I'm not gonna say the words, but if they've gone through a couple of things for men, y'all don't go up to them and say, "Get over it, find it." No, that's PTSD. You're gonna have to give them a while, right? The same could be said with the Jewish community, the African American community, and and if y'all keep talking about that land over in Sodom, when I say the Jewish community, I'm talking about all these random secular Jewish people and random Jewish people that get attacked for their religion. Because y'all not finna just come up here and say, "Oh, the Jews are oppressors." I'm doing that now because what they're doing in Israel. Not all Jews. All my life they were getting attacked by Jesus Christ. So I don't even know what's going on. But anyways, that's why I don't like talking about certain communities, but certain things had to be done to balance the scales. So I wanted to bring up Achan and Joshua real quick. And what when I say you guys are taking some of these symbols to the extreme, with our level of intelligence, we need to become more self-aware and use these metaphors to help us in the everyday world. So look at Achan, right? We'll say I'm Joshua and I got a buddy who likes what I preach. But then all of a sudden, the buddy who likes what I preach and sees what I'm saying goes and goes, "No, these gods actually were real, and Molech and Baal was truthful, and we should run our children through the fire," like some crazy shit, right? Now, what those teachings that he's bringing forth would be idols, right? They would be idols from previous gods. When you guys think of little idols and stuff in that book, yeah, you can think of it as an actual idol, like I'm going to punish you for having an item. No. The problem is, like, when you think of an idol, you're not thinking of a teaching. Like, okay, I'll give you a better example than Balaam Malek. Let's say I'm trying to free people from a lot of this hell and stuff that's going on, but I have a buddy who watches me and goes, "No, hell is real. You're going to burn forever. Follow the Lord. Burn, 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 burn." Now, see, he's running his children through the valley of Himnah for earlier teaching, Malek. But, and that's ironic that the Pope brought forth Catholicism. But anyways, what I'm saying is, so if I use my words to use the 10 Commandments to give him certain words like, "Thou shalt put no gods before who I am. Fear no man who can destroy you, but the body and soul in hell. You shall not worship them or bow down to them." So if who I am says I am not going to hell and don't even create such demonic punishments, then don't listen to them or they will destroy you. Boom. So if I tell that to them out loud, I just stoned them with the law because I didn't give them my opinion. That's the 10 Commandments. So I'm not saying the 10 Commandments is the ultimate law. As a man now, what I know, I use them as a guideline, as the stone, so to speak, as a base stone. So like people say, you need a foundation when building a home. To me, the 10 Commandments is the foundation. I'm not telling you all how to feel. I'm not telling you all that you have to follow that. That's counterproductive. What I'm saying is, when I see like a lot of stuff going on in the world, I can see it from a spiritual aspect. So like when I say God and Jesus and I say a bunch of stuff, I look at it deeper than that. I don't even say it out loud. Now on the inside, I'll hear who I am. So like imagine if I'm going to host the Mighty One or the Most High, let's say now it's inside, the Lord of Hosts. And I am his, I don't want to say sacrifice, right? But I am his. There's a movie where they're like using sleeves and it's about like putting consciousness. Think of it like that. I am the body and the spirit is inside watching things. So the spirit is looking at the kingdoms and everything that's going on. And the spirit will hear like, the Lord God is the one that is mighty and does all these things. So then my spirit is hearing who I am is the one that does all these things. Now, the flesh knows discernment. I know there's billions of other people, and I know that that's the spirit talking. So then, sometimes the spirit gets excited. And it'll be like, thank you very much. So unaware of how brutally, maybe aware, but getting drunk on the vine, people will be like, who the fuck are you? You think you're da-da-da-da-da. Now the spirit's like, damn, I'm JV. I'm JB. What's the problem? Because of everything I've learned. So now the spirit is aware. It's like, hey, my name is Yahweh in the old language, but in English it's JB. Now, it's actually Juannie, but JB is my initials, and I've been going by JB forever, especially in video games. You'll see people in my comments, they won't call me Juannie, they won't call me Hen, and they'll say J, JB, J. And I'm talking about from my old videos, like the video game ones. So then the spirit will get drunk, and it'll be like, oh yes, thank you, like, because you know spirit. So then thank you very much for the thanks. And then now the flesh, the conscience, who has to deal with everything, is like, oh fuck, why'd I just type that? So then what do people do? They'll attack me. They'll be like, what the did you just say? Woo? And that's just a little of my cosplay life. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, they're attacking Jesus, or oh, they're attacking a God. No. I'm saying I'm giving people warnings that sometimes the spirit is where it's at, and sometimes it needs to stay inside for a reason. Because I can know a lot of different things, but as I've told you all, if people start coming up and calling me Jesus and God, yeah, it's powerful for the spirit, but I'm not going to be able to use that. If I go out and tell people the Lord God I am is saying blah, 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 they're going to mock the shit out of me. I'm not worried, like in the United States, I don't know what they teach people, but people aren't just going up like, you're a Christian, did it? That's like an extreme. They're doing that for entertainment. They're going to a busy street corner, hollering, talking about people don't like God. You go to a street corner like that and holler anything and watch what people are going to do. Unless you're a metal band or something. And if you're a metal band, I can assure you, that's why it's funny. Metal bands go out and make a whole bunch of noise in a stadium. The devil's music, stop the devil's music. Them street preachers go out in a corner in the middle of civilization, scream and holler on a mic, and then we're the anointed ones. Just like it the vein concepts. So I'm not telling y'all not to trust doctors, but I'm telling y'all the power in the word and spirit. And what I'm telling y'all is a lot of times these doctors don't know what they're doing, but a lot of times they do. So we have a lot of cures and we have a lot of this stuff. But, back to Elon. This is what I want to talk about when dealing with things like hospitals and Elon Musk and the guy who owns Amazon. They made him big, and all these other people. What you guys are failing to realize is those are they have the money, but the people doing the actual work, because as I told you before, I heard somebody say Elon just invented, and it irritated my soul when I have no problem with calling Elon an investor, which is what most of the world is, and I'll get on that next. But the reason why I get upset when they say Elon invented things is because, like, if I was all these data farmers and scientists and different people that were actually doing the work and creating things, what they do is when you join companies, you sign these patents and you sign these disclosure agreements and all these other paperwork. You think they're finna go work in a lab with all the stuff being invented? So I'm trying to tell you, the people who are actually inventing things are slaves to the corporation, so to speak. Even if you leave a corporation, they can make you sign something called I forget what it's called, but you can't speak on if you speak on what happened at the company and you sign it and you take the money that they give you, they'll crucify you financially. And if you get crucified in America financially, they keep talking about excommunicated out of the country and put out. No, all they got to do in America is take your money away. When you lose your money in America, you're screwed. There is no, you go up to different people, talk about, hey, help me, I'm in a group. They're going to call you a bum. They're going to tell you to get off the streets. I'm telling you, this country is cold sometimes. But on the flip side, just like how that exists, there are a bunch of people that'll take you and help you. Because the world is like that. You got people that are good, and you got people that are kind of angry. You got people that are nicer, and you got people that are kind of angry. So, me, everything that I experience and learn in life is for me. And I can teach people certain things, but as I try to, as much as I can, the reason why I say I am the king, when I say that, now I tell people, you say that too. You're the king or queen. But at the same time, you have to remember that a priest kingdom is for all, and the shepherd was slain. So now we as adults, should be trying to lead the flock righteously. When I say flock, I mean humanity, dude. I'm not in some cosplay right now. I'm saying all humans should feel like making humanity better. I don't know why people gain masses of billions of dollars and then are miserable later in life. I promise you they are. I don't have to argue with people. You guys have given enough examples, and I've seen enough people. So, you know what I mean? It's good to have enough money to survive and stuff. That's the type of person I am. Like, I wouldn't know what to do with that's what I would do if I had like a bunches of money. I'd probably just like give it to shelters and stuff or build stuff. I'd probably like build a. This is why I'm afraid of like building towns and stuff and thinking of doing something like that, because infrastructure is a lot more expensive than people actually realize, and that's why I say a lot of billionaires. The reason why they're the problem is they control the prices, but deep down, the government is really like, because you got to think as a corporation too. That's why nobody's innocent, and we all either have a problem or we can make things better. The corporations, as much as we want to talk about them, they do have to pay a bunch of people. They do have to pay all the shit we don't see. For the lawyers, the lawsuits, the insurances, millions of dollars. You know, an employee actually costs like $1 million. Y'all don't really understand that, but that's for a deeper thing that people don't really talk about too much. And it's just like all type of insurances and stuff involved. You got shady people who just sue companies. I was actually hit when I was younger, and I'm gonna tell you something real quick. We used to live next to a place called Clearwater, and I was riding down the street. And when I was riding down the street, there was just like older man. It was kind of like darker, but it was still daytime. You could see. So like I was going home from the park, and this man kind of did a roll stop, and he ran over the. It wasn't hard. Like he went boom and hit me, and I fell over at the stop sign. Well, I got up, and this is my heart. This is why I say my head hurts sometimes, but it's a blessing, I guess. When he kind of bumped me and knocked me over like that, his eyes, like he was wearing glasses. His eyes he was shaking, his eyes started tearing up, and he went like this. He was shivering. I walked around to his car, I was like, please, sir. I was like, I'm fine. There's no damage. Your car looks fine, and I'm healthy. I hit my leg, and I was like, please, I'm fine. He like started like, oh, and I was like, I'm fine. And what made it even worse, I didn't think about it till now. I'm a little black kid. I was a little African-American kid, and he was Caucasian. So in his mind, dude, he probably saw Jesse Jackson marching down the street. But I even told my mom after this situation with the hospital, I was like, I don't want to sue them. Even if I could sue them, I don't want to. Because if I sue the hospital, the executives aren't going to feel the hit. All these little children and people who are dealing with mental illness and people who are dealing with actual illnesses who get grants and programs, they're going to lose a lot of stuff. That's why I didn't even, this is catch-22. But I feel good when talking about myself because I don't feel like I'm taking on the image that the world gave me anymore. I feel like I'm getting back to my pure self, and I'm learning my pure self. Because the more time I spend alone and actually just think about the type of person I am, I'm really not for the world. I'm not like the world. Although, and that's catch-22. I love the world sometimes. It's fun. Nobody wants to sit in a room all day and be like, huh. Everybody wants friends and family. But sometimes friends and family, one of my biggest problems after gaining a bunch of intellect and knowledge and wisdom and having spiritual intellect was that when I'm around other people, sometimes it can be like, some things can be irritating. That's what I'm gonna say. People are fun and stuff. Some things sometimes can be irritating. But from the foundation, just different stuff, like the foundation of the world, that just means you all have the word. For all of you have had it from the foundation of the world. If you're in this country and you're Christian, or even if you're from other countries and you were Catholic or Christian, you had the word. We've had this why do you think we're not murderers and psychopaths? Why do you think we're arguing on the internet and not going and trying to harm people? We have the spirit and word. But some people's cosplay is taking us to Neverland or whatever. So I just wanted to give a little bit of knowledge, give a little bit of my heart. These systems are super fucking corrupt right now, and they need to change. The people in power, the people that are leech seeding millions from America because of their religion attached to so this is what I'm about to say. You got John the Baptist should be in the there shouldn't be an Old and a New Testament. It should just all be the Bible, and John the Baptist, I guess technically should be at the end. He, just like how there's different books, like the book of Joshua, the Israeli Kings, the the 5 books of Moses, which I'm not going to get into that in this video, dealing with Amos. But what I'm saying is there should be a book of John at the back of that book. They keep saying the last prophet was, I forget who was in the Old Testament. No, that's where they fucked up. John should be the last prophet from what I know. And I guess the apostles after him would be minor prophets, just like how there was a major prophet, major epistles, and then or major horsemen and then minor prophets. It should all be one book, and it should be John and how his way is changing the world. The only problem is they crucified him in that book instead of him being strong in a mighty voice. He has no power. He's not blah, blah, blah. He's not a prophet, blah, blah, blah. But he's a wild man that was the greatest prophet of all that was destroying locusts. You guys should pick a side. It's confusion. So it should be the book of John and then the prophets after him who he was dealing with or whatever. And even the Revelation is the book of Joshua. I don't even know how to tell y'all. Like, that's basically, if people aren't ready for that, just let it be. If that's not for you, when I say things are things, that's for me. So sorry, let me edify. To me, the Revelation in the book of Joshua, basically, it's Amos delivered a law. They freaked it off. So Moses is going to lift a bronze snake on a pole. That's them crucifying Yehohanan. It was for a purpose. Them men were strong. If this, he was in that. There's a crucified man named Yehohanan. That dude's a gangster. So if a secondborn or however number of born comes and says y'all finna respect that man and stop calling him a gracious pig, I would that y'all listen to my servant, please, before I get fucking furious. Y'all keep attacking my witness that's asking y'all to do sweet things on my behalf, and I'm going to fucking utterly destroy you all. I'm sorry for what I just said. Cosplay. I love you all. And when I say things like that, just like how I said, when the Spirit hears that he is the mighty and all, sometimes I have to remember that I'm on a planet with everybody else, and I try not to say things that are counterproductive to peace and love. So certain spirits and groups of people are fucking angry and furious, and they would like for you all to stop destroying the world. That's why I meant to tell you all, if you're in a simulation, who created the simulation and is watching over y'all and is an advocate to the data scientists that watch over all of y'all? Will y'all continue to call people Elohim? Will y'all continue to inadvertently call men gods? If it says put nothing before who I am, no gods before who I am, and God's name is I am, that means put no one before who I am in terms of, so people hear that and be like, oh, you're forsaking others. No. If put no one before who I am, and I'm a kind of loving person, and I say go help them, or I am feeling a vibe and I say don't bother something right now because it seems dangerous, that's who I am. Not, oh, go jump in the fire because the preacher said to and help these bums over here and they get robbed and shot. You have to have discernment and understand what I am telling you. And now you say that. What you are telling you, because those laws, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet, thou shalt not bear false witness, lie on others, thou shalt not commit adultery. So don't sign marriage contracts. And honor thy father and mother, and stay holy, keep your day of rest holy, which if this is the Sabbath, the seventh day, receipts, a tomb was around 4,000 BC. Now this is 2000 AD and on, which means that was 6,000 years, 600 cubits, 6 days. I don't know how else to say it. On the 6th day, mankind. Then on the 7th day, we rest. We enjoy life. We enjoy paradise. So I'm not saying it's all the end. That's what I'm saying is, in a chronological order of things, this is the relief. This is the time that we're supposed to be enjoying and making the kingdom better, so that the children's I ams are not corrupt. If that makes sense. I'm saying that in the most non-corrupt. So please be pure and kind, and please be loving, because you all used to love talk about reincarnation. So, because I'm going to give you a piece of peace. You guys can believe whatever you want. Just listen to the algorithm I'm giving you. Okay, eternal life. We're alive forever. Go. Never ends. Hey, what's up? Day 385,999,865 quadrillion. Hey, what's up, bud? What are you waking me up for? Or we can have life cycles. Right? I'm just giving logic. I'm just giving follow along if you can hear what I'm saying. So then you get to experience everything. Woo, amazing life. Maybe start over, no memory, start over, still have a soul. New things, new things, new things, new things. Would you like the same thing over and 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 over? Day 875,365,755,000 on planet Earth, on planet ER. So, sometimes people like to create M. Night Shyamalans instead of paradises like Who I Am asked. So, when I say I am the Prince of Peace, when I say I am the heavens and the earth, the heart and the flesh, when I say do not create torment with good and evil and do not cause trouble, do you guys understand me now? Pepperidge Farms remembers. So, do you all want to continue to call Yeho a gracious pig? Because I finally figured out. If it's Yehovah and then Yehohanan and I understand what's happened, then Yahweh is Jehovah Jr. Yahweh is the son that's being given to the world. I finally figured it out. If at the beginning of the world, graciousness created everything and then it got corrupted and they crucified it and destroyed it with all these other lands, then what do you think the son is going to do? I told y'all who the crucified man was. I gave you his name. I told you who stole him and put him in their cage in Israel, just like all the other Europeans taking our other forefathers and putting them in cages and museums, then using the descendants as slaves and monkeys to act like we're not creating it for. We built America. We built music, sports, entertainment, all the stuff. You guys keep saying financial, the stock market, buildings. They possessed none of this with the Catholics and none of this other stuff. The Greeks enslaved themselves. If you don't believe me, Josephus gave it to Rome and Rome destroyed the Greeks. I'm telling you all are not going to step on Africa and Asia anymore. When I say Asia, yes, I'm cool with East Asia, but I'm talking about all these indigenous people across the world. They're African and Asian. You know what I'm talking about. They tried to paint the Native Americans a light yellow, just like how I'm saying they tried to do to Jesus and everybody else. So, enjoy life and blessings and peace. And I'm going to continue to be strong and move forward and do what it do. Because as I tell you all, rich people, one day your descendants aren't going to be rich and they're going to be fucked off worst of all. So, if y'all really care about the white race, if y'all really care about preservation, y'all should look up Darwinism, what's going to happen to the sun. Y'all keep talking about in a million years and a billion years. Ha 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 ha. I can get behind that laugh track. Survival of the fittest. Y'all should really do some research and get out of this book that the Pope mind fucked y'all with. Anybody that comes up with Hebrew or scriptures or any of that stuff, it came from the Pope. I'm trying to tell y'all this. And the Greeks that robbed Africa. They created houses of bondage because they smacked themselves over the head with stuff they didn't understand. So, stay blessed and wonderful. Love you all. It's about time to roll up and watch some more people throughout the world. Because I told y'all, this entertainment isn't entertaining me anymore. I'm looking for everybody that's oppressed, and then I'm going to press their fucking vines of their oppressors until the brittle break like brittle. Because those of us that are tired make up more, exponentially more, than those of you who are not.